Good morning. This is Professor Anderson with a little bit of feedback for your writing assignment number 1, rough draft. So I like how you have organized your paper so far. You have made sure to use headings, which is an excellent way to format and plan your work. That is just fabulous. Make sure that you use the same font of, this is just a little stylistic information. Make sure you use the same font information here as you move on. So this first section is asks you to give a little background information of the place where you work. So you give me a great description of Holy Cross Hospital and the what they do or how they work. What I want you to do or to include in here is how many people do you work with? How many? I understand the clientele that you have. I understand the services you provide, but how many people work there? What's the diversity? Is it, are they, or in terms of hospitalists versus staff versus technicians versus, you have a whole versus volunteers versus full-time. You have a whole array of different types of people that work. And as I shared in a couple of your comments, I think I recall, healthcare, the healthcare industry does pose several significant communication barriers. So it is an industry ripe with its share of difficulties with respect to clear communication. So in here, give me just a little bit more information about how many people work there. What are the office environments like? What kinds of communications take place? Do you have email? Is it, face to face? Are there meetings? Is the most of the communication between staff and patients? So those types of information. And again, they don't need to be, full blown research papers. A quick paragraph of, with very short, concrete sentences to answer those. You give a great description of 4 of these barriers that you encounter and specific instances. I love how you have very direct situation, the barrier that took place, and then analyzing how that barrier impeded your communication. So this is really beautiful. And then finally at the end, oh, here we go. There we go. It's all connected. You want to, again, make sure you have these fonts the same. I like how you have avoid these sort of emotional statements like my clinic is pretty good with communication among others. So just say, my clinic lacks X, Y, and Z. My clinic does well in these areas and does not do well in these areas. When you interject emotional statements into professional report writing, you bias your paper with in an opinionated fashion because it's your opinion that it's pretty good. A 60% is a hardcore number that you can designate values towards. Saying pretty good is your opinion and emotion. So you're right, 60% is pretty good. It's okay. It's slightly above half of what you would expect. So although I wouldn't call that okay. I mean, I think, but you want to just make sure that you give some concrete descriptions of that. So I look forward to reading your final draft.